Hey, what's up YouTube? This is the Power Up Mushroom, and I am just here to talk about the DLC Gladiolus for Final Fantasy 15. And I just kind of want to give my thoughts on this and stuff, and why not, you know, for people who are thinking whether they should buy it or not. And my opinion, it depends. I'm going to just jump right into this, and I'm going to just say that the DLC, when I got it, because I had gotten the Season Pass, I didn't know how much it was. I thought it was going to be like a $20 DLC, like normally DLCs are $20, or $15. So I didn't look at the price at all or anything, so I just started playing it, and let me just tell you that this DLC is really short. It kind of pissed me off a little bit. It was a little short, and the execution of it I don't think was really that well. Let me erase this a little bit. Yeah, and I guess, okay, so the DLC, it starts off with you know, Gladio. You know, in the game, slight spoilers. For people who haven't played the story, but I'm pretty sure everybody who's watching this has. In the story, the entire party gets together and they get into a fight, but they pretty much lose the battle. And Gladio feels that he's not fit to be, you know, like a shield of Noctis or whatever. And he leaves the party for a bit in the main storyline of Final Fantasy 15. And that's where this DLC starts. It kind of shows where Gladio went and what he was doing during that time and how he got that scar like going across his forehead. And let me say, you know, I guess they wanted to kind of show you how he got the scar or like what he went through. And basically what happened is he's going through this trial where later on he fights like you find this out at the very beginning of the DLC, so it's not really a spoiler. You fight Gilgamesh. He's like a reoccurring boss in like the Final Fantasy series, and and they start talking about like or Gladio and I think it's Cod. No, Core. Is it Core or Car? No, I'm pretty sure it's Core. I forgot. I don't know. He's not in the story a lot. My bad. But anyways, it's that mentor that, you know, mentors Noct in the party. You know, he kind of meets up with them when Noct is finding, like, you know, those main weapons that the kings are supposed to hold or whatever. Gladio goes with him, and it's basically those two guys that you're going to be kind of focusing on, and the story's really focused on them. So from the start, you know, you start hearing about this legend of Gilgamesh and how, you know, thousands of warriors going, you know, they fight him, and that, you know, no one's really returned. The only person who's returned is Core. I'm pretty sure I'm saying that. It's going to bother me. I have to figure this out at the end of the video. Core or Car, whatever you're going to call him. And Core is really, he's the only one that's ever returned. And Gladio feels that he needs to undergo this trial. That way he can, that way he feels like he's more fit to be the servant of the king, or, you know, the king's shield. And so he goes along with Core, and they, you know, they're going to go through all these trials. And let me tell you, some of the story in this DLC, I mean, it was really, I did enjoy the little insight that they put, but I always, every time you would sit like kind of like at a, I want to say bonfire, but you know, the campfire, you know, Core and Gladio, they kind of start telling stories or swapping stories, or Core will start opening himself up to Gladio, and you start learning more about Core, which is really interesting. And it was a little disappointing, not that they were executing it wrong, but I felt like I wanted to hear Core's story way more than Gladio. I mean, I don't know. And because Core was going through all this, you know, lore and stuff, and it sounded really cool. Like, it would have been nice to play as Core, hopefully, I don't know, maybe in a future DLC, I doubt it, but he was giving some really cool insight on like a story, and I don't know, I just thought that was really interesting, but they don't really touch upon it after a few bonfire or campfires, my bad. And then, you know, you start progressing to the trial, and then eventually, you know, there's a boss. But let me just say, the DLC is super short. I beat this DLC in like an hour. It's a small DLC, and it kind of gives a little bit of insight on Gladio as a character and stuff. And I guess that's welcome, but I can't help but feel that this DLC should have been part of the main game. The DLC, when I found out, it's $5, okay? So you're really not losing a lot of money for a $5 DLC. I don't think it's that bad. Is it worth it? To me, yeah. I guess if it's only $5, then yes, I do think that it's worth it. But yeah, and then you get, the best part is you get to play as Gladio, and what's really cool is when you play as Gladio, there's a different gameplay mechanic because you know you're used to playing as Noctis and you're used to like teleporting everywhere and all this stuff, and Gladio is like pure strength. Like he was just raw power that you just swing around this Buster Sword and like smack the crap out of enemies and stuff. It's really cool, and you really got. I hope that they implement like a gameplay in the future, like his gameplay, to where you can kind of switch between party members as DLC comes out. You can't really do that once you start playing in the the main story, but it'd be really cool if they did that. And when I started playing as Gladio, I started recognizing that some of the interface, like the health bar and not the the health bar and like the limit break system, it's recycled from Versus 13. Because I followed Versus 13 for quite a while, and the news updates and all that stuff, and like the interfaces look very similar to Versus 13. And it was really cool to kind of see that. Okay, they're kind of. It looks like everything that they scrapped from Versus 13, like we playing or playing as different characters, they kind of brought it back to this one. So now we get to play as Gladio. So that's one down, and eventually at the end of the game of this DLC, it shows a trailer for the next DLC. And if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to tell you guys who it is, but it looks like it's going to be a good DLC. I hope that it really is, because it looks really emotional. But yeah, and I saw that some things look like they were borrowing from the Versus 13 engine or something. Like it just looked really cool how it was being used. And I'm like, all right, if they're recycling that stuff from the Versus 13 development cycle, I'm pretty sure that they could do a lot better with the next DLC that's coming and the one after that. And really, there's not much more to the DLC to talk about other than like I don't think the execution was all well, but it is worth a $5 price. It's not expensive or anything, but I just feel like it should have been part of the main game. Another thing they added was like a score attack or time attack where you just face off a bunch of enemies as Gladio, and it's something really cool. If you just feel like fighting random enemies and stuff and you just want to jump into action, I mean, there it is. It's right there for you, and there's like different scores. You can like rack up points and stuff. It's really cool. Basically it's like a survival. I guess I'd compare it to like training mode in the core game. Remember when you played as Noctis while the game was installing, you just fought a bunch of enemies? Kind of like that, except there's more variety in enemies. Another thing, I guess, with the update that came out, you get to play in Chapter 13. I think it was 13 or 11. It was one of those. And it was basically, the stealth mission. And they're the one that didn't really flesh out a big story. They added some stuff to it so where you can play as Gladio and Ignis. You're not playing as Ignis, but Gladio and Ignis, when they're part of the party, it's just the two of them. And it shows what they went through to find Noct and all that stuff. So you can replay the story and go through that too. Or if you were to beat the story, they have it right there on the little side on the menu that you can just jump right into Chapter 13. That you can kind of get into the story and like just kind of get that filler that you wanted. So there's that. Again, that one to me I don't really feel as I don't know. To me it was okay, but it wasn't. I was expecting something a little better and more emotional and stuff, but I mean, that's it. I mean, really, it was something really small. I just feel like they could have done better and maybe charged maybe like $15 for a DLC for something that they could work on more. Like I said, it's not the best DLC that's released, but it's a start, and hopefully in the next DLC that's coming out, I hope that they can do better and maybe introduce like more character development, more than there was in this DLC. And I would, like I said, I really like to see what Core went through, or because he was a really good character that was fleshed out in this DLC that I really wanted to know what happened before times. It just sounded like a really interesting story that I could have experienced in the game. And I don't know, maybe a spin-off would be nice. It sounds like it could be a small spin-off or something, but anyways, that is my review on the DLC, Gladio. Let's see, I don't, like I said, it's worth buying. $5 isn't a lot, so you're not really losing a lot there. I have the season pass, so I'm gonna end up getting them all anyways. But just, yeah, if you guys are interested in like just playing as Gladio, or you just want to swing a giant Buster Sword around, or you just want a little, like I said, it's an extra insight, to the story of Final Fantasy 15, and it's not all that bad, but it's not all that great. I'd say it's average. It's an average DLC that I just feel they could have done better, but that's just me. Anyways, that's it for my review on the Gladio DLC. Like I said, definitely worth, if you're a Final Fantasy fan, probably worth buying. Or someone just wants to hack and slash things with a Buster Sword or play as Gladio. Oh, and there's new costumes. There you go. But anyways, yeah, that's it for this video, guys. So let me know in the comments down below if you like the Gladio DLC. What were your thoughts on it? Is there anything that you guys like better, or anything you disagree on, or anything like that? Let me know. But anyways, this is the Power Up Mushroom, guys, and I will see you guys in the next video.